Xiao Lai looked at Chen Yun with eyes full of admiration, her heart overflowing with respect. Her love for him grew stronger with each passing moment, like waves crashing on the shore. Asterisk at his age, he's still studying. Doesn't he ever get tired of it? Doesn't he think life has anything else interesting to offer, so he has to write books and study just to pass the time? Asterisk. Asterisk, he works so hard. He's achieved incredible success, but he's always so humble, constantly learning and improving. He's nothing like those other guys who get a little success and start acting all proud. He really is a shining light in my life. Asterisk. At the same time, in Huaxia, it was spring, the time when millions of workers rushed home to celebrate the Lunar New Year. Normally, Chen Yuan would have gone back to his hometown for the holiday, but the problem was he discovered that he wasn't actually a biological member of the Chen family. On top of that, Chen Jianhong and Muxu Mi had officially agreed to divorce, but things didn't stop there. Chen Jianhong was now trying to pair him up with Wang Mengmeng. Chen Yuan didn't know how to react. It all felt so complicated. From his biological father to his father-in-law, and now possibly back to being his father-in-law again. So Chen Yuan decided to just not care anymore. Whether he went home for the new year this year or not didn't seem to matter that much anymore. Around 10 a.m., Chen Yuan was picked up by Yang Sison and taken to the Long Tang International Villas, located in the San Juan Dadu area. To put it simply, this place is top tier. The streets are wide, the trees provide plenty of shade, and the air is cleaner than in some resorts. The subway station is just a short walk away. Right outside the neighborhood, you'll find 3 first-class hospitals, an excellent elementary school, a cultural center, playgrounds, a sports stadium, and a shopping mall. Everything is top-notch, some of the best in the country. When they arrived, Yang Sison was beaming, his eyes sparkling like he had just uncovered a treasure. He excitedly reported, "Father-in-law, your foresight is incredible. The talent search program has become the hottest show in the country. Every day, countless partners are knocking on our door, and the advertising contracts are piling up. All we need to do is sign one, and we'll make at least 10 million. The program's licensing fee alone has already reached several billion. Not to mention the popular contestants are doing live streams to sell products, and the sales are skyrocketing. If we estimate it roughly, by the time the program wraps up, we could make at least $3 billion. Hearing this, Chen Yuan felt a bit confused. At first, I just wanted to waste some money, but I didn't expect to accidentally open up such a money-making machine. Is this really the fate of the rich? In the end, Chen Yuan raised his hand, speaking lazily with a face that looked tired and disillusioned as if he had lost faith in money. All right, fine, just keep going. But remember, if any more contracts come up that are too troublesome, just turn them down. I don't want this program to turn into a free-for-all market." Yang Sison, seeing Chen Yuan's expression, chuckled. "Father-in-law, even if you blame me, it won't change the reality. This program is too popular, and so many brands want to collaborate. Even if I wanted to turn them down, I couldn't. Besides, I've been told you to have such a good eye for business and invest in the right place. You make the program a huge success after all." Chen Yuan signaled for him to stop and said, Stop. I told you we're not talking about work today. I have absolutely no interest in making money." Yang Sison listened in silence for a few seconds, then nodded, realizing a point right then and there. What? The average person would be over the moon just earning $1 million, but here we're talking about 10 or so billion, and people are still unsatisfied. Sure enough, to the boss, 10 billion is nothing more than a speck of dust. My perspective is still too limited, but that doesn't matter. What truly matters is that the best decision of my life was following Lim Yum Wom. Because as long as you follow the right person, you don't have to push too hard. Success just comes naturally. Everything goes smoothly. Everything works out. But there's still work to be done. Yang Sison quickly regained his focus and pulled out a thick stack of documents from his bag, almost like a textbook. "Father-in-law, here's the list of the 120 finalists, with all their detailed information. As one of the 4 masters, you'll need to study it carefully to understand each person." It has to be said, Yang Sison was thorough. He even included their body measurements and health details. The only thing missing was probably what day of the month they were born and what positions they prefer. Who told Yang Sison that Chen Yuan was running the program to find a new wife anyway? Chen Yuan calmly took the papers, showing no particular expression, and simply nodded. "Okay, this is my job. I'll make sure to understand each contestant thoroughly." As Chen Yuan flipped through a few more pages, Yang Sison continued with the update. "Father-in-law, Kuan Yin Television has invested in 6 villas in Daedu. All the contestants for the talent search finals are staying there. Some of them haven't arrived yet, but they should be here in the next few days. Your room is on the 3rd floor. It's the largest one in the villa, with all the amenities you could need. If you need anything, just let me know." Chen Yuan waved his hand gently. You've been busy all day. You should head back and rest. We could talk about work tomorrow. Father-in-law, get some sleep. At this point, the clock had just passed 11 p.m., but instead of drifting off into fairy tale dreams, the girls were still chatting away, gossiping, venting, and going wild over one special person. Breaking news, huge news. Lim Young-won has arrived in Didu. He's staying right next to our villa. Ha ha. Leading the charge was Liu Chan-wen, who might look prim and proper to outsiders, but her personality was nothing short of wild. She stood there with her hands on her hips, laughing hysterically as if she just won the lottery, shouting, Lim Young-won is here, my husband's here. Oh my god, I've been waiting forever, he's finally here. But before anyone could get too excited, a sharp voice popped through the air. Liu Chan-wen stopped laughing like a possessed person. Girl, what's with that scary look? Another woman jumped in, her eyes sparkling like she had just struck gold. Hey ladies, I have a serious question. Do you think Lim Young-won might use his power to get up to no good with us? I've heard rumors that he's a bit of a player, and there are so many women who've had scandals with him, it's hard to count on one hand. Her words immediately split the crowd into two camps. One group shrank back, nervously wondering, oh no, I hope we won't get teased. Meanwhile, the other group beamed with excitement, laughing loudly. What's there to be scared of? The real question isn't whether Lim Young-won will fall for us, but whether he'll even notice us. Haha. But once the excitement over the guy wore off, Liu Chan-wen snapped back to her senses. Hey ladies, let's forget about this whole thing of swooning over guys and chasing after rich men. We're here to compete, not to find husbands. Look at Chu Zi. She's not only beautiful and talented, but she's also a Harvard student with 20,000 fans. Let's learn from her. At this point, someone took a deep breath and quietly wiped away a tear. Don't bring Chu Zi up as an example. The more we compare ourselves to her, the more we feel like failures. We're all contestants in the same competition. We've all made it to the qualifiers, semifinals, and finals, but she's got 20,000 fans, while I can barely scrape together 1,000. It's so heartbreaking. This is how the girls in the eyes of the idol look. In front of handsome guys, they're shy and reserved like delicate young ladies, but the moment they turn away, they let loose and gossip about anything and everything, from the neighbor's cat to what to eat to lose weight. Amidst the whirlwind of chatter from the group of friends, there was one person standing outside of the spotlight. That person was Ni-wen QZ, the top contender so impressive she only needed a crown to complete her royal status. While others are still shouting about handsome guys or complaining about how unlucky they are, Ni-wen QZ had completely different thoughts. She stood quietly in the corner of the room, her eyes distant, her mind focused on just one thing. Chen Yuan has finally shown himself. I've waited for him for so long that I almost became an A-list star with fans all over the country. But the wait wasn't in vain, because I've discovered a mind-blowing secret. Chen Yuan is no ordinary man. He holds the most advanced artificial intelligence, something that could completely change the world's order. The problem is, he's keeping it all to himself, secretly using it for his own selfish purposes. Honestly, this isn't just a waste of resources on a cosmic scale. It's a festering wound blocking humanity's progress. All this time, I've endured pretending to be an outsider just to avoid suspicion. But when the moment comes, I'll strike with a fatal blow. Chen Yuan must be destroyed. Just then, Liu Chan-wen walked over, curious, and stared at Ni-wen QZ. Chu Zi, what are you thinking about? And then, as everyone had hoped, Ni-wen QZ casually brushed his hair, his voice full of philosophical depth, making Liu Chan-wen nearly strain his neck from thinking so hard. I was wondering, is it possible that within the empty spaces of this world, there are countless parallel universes? These spaces might even have planets like Earth, with the sun shining, galaxies, and whole separate universes of their own. If that's the case, isn't this world just a small part of something bigger, like a parallel universe? Liu Chan-wen dropped his jaw. Before he could even process all this information, Ni-wen QZ took things to a whole new level of cosmic despair. Maybe we're not the main characters here. Maybe we're just extras, names that flash by in a book, existing or disappearing without anyone caring. And if that's true, that isn't our fate already decided from the start? There's no way to change it, no way to escape. After hearing this, Liu Chan-wen reached out and touched Ni-wen QZ's forehead, her expression full of confusion. What do you mean by parallel universe? What's this about being a side character in a novel? What do you mean fate has already been decided? She had been trying to listen closely and think it through, but the more she listened, the more she felt like she'd have fallen into some strange philosophical world. Chu Zi, why do you always talk about things I don't understand? Even though I don't get it, it still sounds pretty reasonable. Finally, she gave up on trying to understand Ni-wen QZ's confusing words and said, forget it. Let's just go to sleep. Hurry up, Chu Zi. We still need to practice tomorrow. Watching Liu Qian-wen walk away, Ni Wen-Q Zhag didn't say much, just nodded quietly. Yeah, sleep. Outside, the sky was still pitch black, not a single star in sight, almost like a sign that tomorrow would be full of challenges. At 6 o'clock a.m., before the sunlight had a chance to shine into the villa, there was a loud knock on the door, followed by the voice of a staff member from the show calling out, Get up, wash your face and put on your makeup right now. Today's an important day." In the room, a few female students were curled up in their warm blankets. Before they could figure out what was going on, a loud scream startled them. "Let me sleep a little longer, just a little, 10 more minutes and I'll get up." Liu Qian-wen, get up right now. Lin Yong-won, the heartthrob, is here. He's doing a direct inspection. Liu Qian-wen, still wrapped up in her blanket like a sleepy caterpillar, let out a groan, her voice as sluggish as a lazy cat. Suddenly, Liu Qian-wen sprang up like a spring, eyes wide open, hair messy, but more awake than anyone else. "What?" she exclaimed. "Today's a rare day, like a total solar eclipse," Chen Yuan said as she walked in, almost blinded by the scene in front of her. Inside the room, over 80 beautiful women had gathered. These women, aged between 18 and 25, looked like they had stepped right off a magazine cover. Each one was stunning, radiating confidence and charm. Even when standing still, they were more dazzling than the lead actresses in any romance drama. The online crowd couldn't help but scream, "Oh my god, it feels even more shocking than stepping into a palace." Chen Yuan hadn't even taken a deep breath yet when Yang Sison appeared with a big professional smile. "Father-in-law, we've arranged for 2 staff members to record your image with cameras. Is that all right with you?" In other words, every gesture, action, and expression you make right now is being closely watched by millions of eyes. Chen Yuan glanced around and quickly noticed that the 3 masters hadn't arrived yet. He suddenly felt a bit out of place. "Wait, hold on. This isn't right. If I go in now, I'll be spotted immediately." Then Chen Yuan looked at himself, standing alone in front of a crowd of beautiful women, and realized it felt a bit dangerous. The scene was basically a man standing alone in a sea of girls. The problem was, I'm going in first with no one to back me up, no one to help share the attention. It felt like a giant cake sitting in front of a swarm of hungry ants. So he immediately switched into stealth mode, glanced at Cayman, who was standing nearby, and quietly whispered, Hey, let me borrow your hat and camera, and while you're at it, pass me your staff ID too. Let's not stir up trouble just yet. You don't want to alert anyone." The cameraman barely had time to react before the boss swiftly grabbed the equipment, put on a hat, and transformed into a true professional cameraman. After that, he just slipped in quietly, making sure no one noticed him. At that moment in a rehearsal room, there were so many staff members around that everyone was busy with their own tasks. No one paid any attention to the new guy, and no one had any idea that right then, a slate old wolf disguised as a staff member was weaving through the crowd of sheep. "Father-in-law, you really know how to play the game." But because Lim Yong-won is filming himself, Yang Sison has been asking all morning whether we should let the contestants know, someone said. Chen Yuan immediately cut them off. "We can't mess up the plan. Let's just take a walk around and see how things are going." The contestants were still busy with their tasks. Some were practicing choreography, others were quietly memorizing their lines, and a few were live streaming to chat with fans. Everyone was focused on their own work, completely unaware that right in the middle of them, a secret master had blended in unnoticed. Chen Yuan had been quietly observing as a staff member when he suddenly saw Yi Han dancing gracefully in the middle of the rehearsal room. He casually asked Yang Sison, who was standing next to him, "The girl dancing over there, what's her direct line number?" Yang Sison quickly checked the list and replied, "That's Yi Han. Her direct line is 668. She's one of the top contestants." Chen Yuan nodded slightly, his gaze softening with admiration as he looked at Yi Han. He had only seen her play the violin before, but now, seeing her dance, he was impressed. That said, something still felt a bit odd to him. Among the dozens of people practicing, some were struggling to memorize their lines, while others were fumbling with their dance moves. But Yi Han stood out with a unique presence. It wasn't because she was the most beautiful, but because every move she made exuded confidence and decisiveness, with no trace of hesitation or anxiety. Clearly, she was someone who was used to the spotlight, not just a contestant trying to win. What's more, Yi Han's favorability rating had reached 94, and yet he hadn't spent a single penny on her. It was a rare opportunity, a once-in-a-lifetime chance. The moment to act had arrived. Chen Yuan casually pulled out his phone and opened the Big Cat TV app. It had been a while since he last logged in, and suddenly he felt a wave of nostalgia. Without thinking much, he hit the login button. In the blink of an eye, a legendary name lit up on the screen. Grand CEO Yuan was officially online. At that moment, Yi Han's live stream room was flooded with a familiar ID, As soon as the ID appeared, the already packed chat room exploded like gasoline being poured onto a fire. Oh my god, Lim Young Wong is here. Welcome, Lim Young Wong. Wait, am I seeing this right? That legendary man is back. Lim Young Wong is here. Lim Young Wong is really here. Wait, Lim Young Wong suddenly went online. Does that mean he's planning something? Don't tell me he's about to send money. Just 1 second later, the entire Big Cat TV platform shook like an earthquake at magnitude 10. A massive notification burst onto the screen so big it covered half of the interface. The light was blinding, as if someone had just thrown the sun at the screen, completely taking over the view of all the users. Grand CEO Yuan has gifted a planet collision. Quantity, 10,000. A second of silence. 3 seconds of shock. 5 seconds later, the entire social media exploded. And here's the most expensive gift from Big Cat TV. Only those with a godly, imperial level of wealth can afford to buy it. The screen shines as brightly as a fireworks festival. Not just 1 or 5 bursts, but dozens, flashing every second. Each of Chen Yuan's in-game actions burns through 1 million in seconds. Just like that, 200 million disappears in less than half a minute. Yang Sison stood there, eyes wide and mouth hanging open. Wait, am I seeing things? Lim Young Wong is always at the top. He never lets me down. Everything Chen Yuan does, every single move is watched by millions, second by second. And the scariest part is that Chen Yuan still has no idea about any of this. The screen on the planet is still speeding by at such a fast pace that it feels like the human eye can barely keep up. Behind the scenes, the Big Cat staff were equally stunned, mouths wide open, eyes bulging as if they just won the lottery. This is insane, truly insane. In under 5 minutes, Lim Young Wong had burned through 1 billion. I give up. Lim Young Wong, do you need another puppy who knows how to bark? I'm ready to take the job. If this keeps going, Big Cat TV's valuation will jump another 5 billion, while Lim Young Wong only spent 1 billion but made 5 times that. It's like money is flowing in nonstop. No need to push, the boss is still the boss. It's a brilliant move, truly a person born with a touch of luck. Everything he touches turns to gold. The number of people online is shooting up fast, 1 million, 5 million, 10 million, peaking at 13 million viewers. At this point, with a population of 1.4 billion, that means 1 in every 100 people in the country is watching Yi Han's live stream. While everyone is still trying to catch their breath from the shock of it all, in another corner of the world, Yi Han remains blissfully unaware of her massive online presence. All of this chaos is thanks to a man who's tossing money around like it's nothing, several billion just flying away. At that exact moment, Liu Kan-wen rushed in, her face full of excitement as she shouted, "Oh my god, Sister Yi Han, you probably haven't heard. Lim Young Wong just gave you several billion in gifts and the live stream is blowing up." Yi Han froze in shock. What? Chen Yuan gave me gifts and several billion too. Yi Han immediately felt dizzy as if she had just been thrown into a completely different world and hadn't had time to adjust. The biggest question was, why did Chen Yuan do this? All Yi Han could do was ask herself, who in their right mind would casually swipe tens of billions like it's nothing? It can't be that simple. Based on how long she had known Chen Yuan, she was 100% sure that he wasn't the type to throw money around without a reason. There had to be more to it. He must be interested in her. If Chen Yuan isn't into me, then why would he only give me tens of billions and not give any money to the other female contestants? Isn't Kim Jisoo competing too? And Chin Woo Xuan, isn't she also in the running? Are they not worthy of a gift? Yet Chen Yuan completely ignored them, and it was only her that received it. This was no longer just about supporting a friend. This was a clear sign of affection. In that moment, Yi Han suddenly realized the truth. Chen Yuan likes me, so how is he going to deny it? Let's see how long he can keep pretending. Yi Han, affection increased by 1, affection now at 95 points. Asterisk ding, asterisk, the target licked the ball. Yi Han's affection has surpassed 95 points. Congratulations to the owner for successfully completing a reverse attack. Asterisk ding, asterisk, the owner has spent a total of 26 billion, earning a reward of 2.6 billion in return, plus 60 points for enhancement and rewards for skills. Proficiency in psychology, proficiency in violin, proficiency in calligraphy, English level 8 and Japanese level 8. Chen Yuan sighed, feeling utterly helpless inside. What a shame. I haven't even spent all the money yet and Yi Han already ended the live stream. The 1 million limit is way too small. I can't spend the money fast enough. It's such a pain. I really messed myself up. If I had asked the tech team to set up a 100 million gift earlier, wouldn't spending money now be much easier? Thinking about it just breaks my heart. Chen Yuan wished he could turn back time, storm into the tech department, slam the desk, and demand a 100 million gift right away. At that moment of all people, he ran into his most loyal fan. Just one glance, and Liu Qianwen instantly recognized him. Wait a second, why does this person look so familiar? Is Lim Yong-won pretending to be the cameraman? Immediately, Liu Qianwen's eyes lit up and her face turned bright red from excitement. Ah, Lim Yong-won, is it really you? My idol, you're here? The girls who had been calm just moments ago suddenly turned into enthusiastic fans, screaming so loudly it almost shook the eardrums. Lim Yong-won is really here. Mr. Chen is amazing. Hello, Mr. Chen. Hello, Mr. Chen. Hello, Mr. Chen. I'm about to lose it. The idol really is a true idol. Chen Yuan stood there, a bit frozen. Wait a minute, teacher. Wait, this feels familiar. Have I heard this somewhere before? But after thinking about it, it made sense. My last name is Chen. I'm the teacher of the program. Plus, I'm an award-winning actor praised by the media. Calling me Mr. Chen isn't too much, but for some reason, the atmosphere feels a bit strange. Facing nearly 100 beautiful girls, all smiling sweetly at him, like they were waiting for a grave, the pressure was intense. So Chen Yuan cleared his throat twice, tried to regain his composure, and took off his hat to greet them. Oh, well, hello everyone. And so all 120 official contestants were present, and the lineup was absolutely overwhelming. Chen Yuan stood before the crowd, his gaze sweeping across a series of familiar faces. Yi Han, Qin Wu Shuang, Kim Jisoo, Kim Mang Mang, Sub Kwan, Park Min Young, Kim Jenny, Kim Harawan. Everyone was there. Chen Yuan felt an intense surge of pressure because all of these people were targets of the system. Oh my god, I feel like my eyes are going to fall out. There are so many beautiful women. All right, now I have to face 120 contestants, half of whom are crazy fans. How am I supposed to stay calm? Fine, if we're going to play, let's go all in. Just then, Yang Saisen suddenly held a microphone up to Chen Yuan's face, his eyes full of anticipation. Boss, would you like to say a few words? Chen Yuan glanced around, taking in the group of beautiful women and the organizers who were all eagerly waiting. The pressure of the moment was overwhelming, but he had no choice but to grab the microphone. He couldn't back out now. I just heard someone call me teacher, and once you call me that by the rules, a teacher has to teach. So we're going to start the first class now. I'll need to take attendance first. The contestants responded one by one, raising their hands. Understood. The crowd answered in unison, their voices booming. Yes, sir. Chen Yuan looked at the list and began calling names. Liu Qianwen present. At that moment, a series of strange sounds rang in his head. Asterisk ting. Action target unlocked. Favorability 95 points, charm failure. Since the host did nothing but call the name, a reverse charm attack from a beauty succeeded, proving the host's allure has reached the level of bending the rules of the universe. Successfully escaping the life of a loner. Reward. 50 enhancement points asterisk. Chen Yuan nearly dropped his jaw. Damn it, what's going on here? What's all this about action system target, charm failure, and reverse charm attack? I haven't even done anything yet, I just called a name, and my favorability is already maxed out. This is way too much. Chen Yuan wasn't too convinced, so she decided to try again. Chen Tian, yep, the charm failed with a score of 60. She took a deep breath and called another name. Liu Yufei, yep, failed again. Sim Xiao Jia, yep, failed again. Fai Xiao Liu, yep, failed again. The more names Chen Yuan called, the more something felt off, and she couldn't stop questioning herself. I'd called over 50 names, and every single one failed. Each person had a really high likability score, at least 30 points, with some even reaching 90, but no one could make the connection. Of course, Liu Qianwen was an exception. If I had known this would happen, I wouldn't have wasted tens of billions on that stupid bet. Now, everything was a mess. All the girls had such high likability scores from the start. So how am I supposed to make a connection now? The roll call had to go on. Chen Yuan looked at the next name on the list and continued Niwen QZ present. As soon as he finished speaking from the crowd, a young girl with an icy, elegant aura gently raised her hand. Her skin was smooth and pale, like morning mist, and her eyes were deep and captivating. Her features were so finely sculpted, it was as if they were carved by an artist. She looked like a stunning beauty straight out of an ink painting, pure and ethereal, yet irresistibly alluring. But before Chen Yuan could fully take in the moment, he froze. The name was Niwen QZ, age 20, standing 172 centimeters tall and weighing 50 kilograms, with a beauty rating of 9.8 out of 10. Her affinity toward the owner was a negative 95 points. The connection was so strong it had successfully locked her into the system's relationship network. Achieving an affinity score above 95 meant she had become the owner's woman, with a reverse breakthrough successfully completed. The reverse breakthrough was complete, and as a reward, 10% of the system's spending cost was returned. Additional rewards included 200 enhancement points and new skills unlocked: top-tier assassination, quick-scope sniping, expert hacking, bomb expertise, fluency in 16 languages, advanced stealth techniques, counter-surveillance mastery, expert operations, advanced appraisal skills, professional dancing, combat expertise, yoga proficiency, singing talent, and proficiency in physics and chemistry. Chen Yuan stood frozen in place, almost in shock at what he was seeing. What the heck is this? Why does this person have a quick scope sniping skill? How do they know 16 different international languages? Is this the skill set of an actor?